Hi guys, welcome back to another fun conversation with your favorite tech girl, aka me. And in this video, I will be covering the most important thing for anyone who wants to be a product manager: how to crack that interview. Well, the product management interview is now very structured. There are a lot of different types of questions that are asked, and in this video, I'll help you answer one of the types. I have done several other videos and I have linked to them in the section below, as well as I've linked them above about how to answer the product design or the product strategy question, but this one is about a different one. So come along. Guys, before we get started, quick introductions. Hi, my name is Aarushi. I have about 6 years of experience building tech products. In these 6 years, I worked as a developer for 2 and then the rest as a product manager. Right now, I'm working as a product manager for an e-commerce company in the MENA region. And in this channel, I talk about all things tech, product, and general career adulting. Now, before we start the topic as well, guys, if you like the content of this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and also share it with your friends who are also like you preparing to become a product manager. If you're not someone who's for sure wants to be a product manager but is just exploring it as an option, I think this video would still be useful for you so that you can understand what is it that it takes to be a product manager. So without further ado, let's get going. Now in this video, we're going to be covering the what is your favorite product or how will you improve X product kind of a question. This product question is usually asked for some outcome. So we will divide this video into 3 sections. Section 1, I'll tell you what is the interviewer expecting, what is he trying to assess with this question. Number 2, what is the right structure to answer this question. And the third section will actually do a mock interview between you and I. Yes. So we'll get this going. Section number 1, that is, why is this question even asked? So guys, the reason why any interviewer is interested in understanding what is your favorite product or how you would improve a product is to understand 2 things. Number 1, do you have user empathy? Do you understand what different users of a particular product want, what the different users themselves are, and what are they expecting out of it, and so on and so forth. Here, it is very important that you're able to demonstrate understanding of different types of users and not just yourself. So that's point number 1. Point number 2, can you prioritize between competing priorities? Can you make sure that whatever you prioritize actually reach the business outcomes needed? That's objective number 2. Both these things are extremely important because a product manager's day-to-day is doing exactly this. In some form or fashion, a PM is always trying to figure out what to prioritize. They're always negotiating. They're always trying to understand, empathize with the user, and so on. So both this question particularly is one of the most important indicators of how good a product manager you will be. So this is the product design. This is the product thinking question, and this is usually assessed by your favorite product or how would you improve X product, right? Now going to the second part, how do you structure this answer? Now there is a specific structure on how you go about this. The step 1 of the structure is trying to understand what is the business impact or business vision or mission of this particular product that you're trying to improve. Let's say you said your favorite product was Netflix. So what is the vision or mission of Netflix? What is it trying to achieve? That's very important to establish so that you can solve the rest of it. The next part is figuring out the customers. Now this, I have actually borrowed an important concept from marketing, which is STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So basically segmentation is segmenting your customer base into various types or various cohorts or various segments. For example, for Netflix, the customers could be on the basis of age, maybe Gen Z, millennials, and so on. Or Netflix could say that, people who are watching the content on mobile, those watching on TV, and so on and so forth. So there could be various ways through which you divide your users. You choose whatever makes sense to you. After you have segmented your customers, you then target them. You figure out which of them is the most important segment for me given the problem statement, and I will target that one. Now this one would obviously, we'll figure it out in the sample as well when we do the mock between you and I, but this is where a little bit of science goes in, where you size each segment and you try to see which is the most strongest one, and that's the one you choose to target. Now after you've figured out your segment, figured out your target, next comes the P part of STP, which is positioning. How will you make your value proposition or your product to solve the problems of your targeted segment? This is where your empathy comes into view. This is where your understanding of the selected target goes into view. So for example, if I had chosen for Netflix, I had chosen Gen Z, then I need to understand that they like to consume content quickly. They are probably in an age group where they like to watch content about love and so on. Maybe the kind of people that they follow, the kind of celebrities that they follow are different. So maybe content of those celebrities, of that type of content, and you know, that's what they like. So so just to give you an example, like, you know, whatever target you pick up, you also have to show some empathy towards that target, and then tailor make your solution towards them. After this STP part of marketing comes the product part, which is a little bit more analytical. You will do two more things in this structure. You will start measuring the outcomes. You'll put the metrics that you will use to measure the outcomes, and second, you'll call out the risks, if any, and how will you measure them as well. So this is overall the structure. I'll just repeat quickly: the business outcome, STP, the metrics that you'll measure, and the risks. These are the 4 steps that you have to follow to crack this one. Do you think it's too simple? Well, it always is. It's just that you have to build your own way of doing this. So let's get to the part 3, which is you and I doing a mock. All right, so the question usually is, what is your favorite product? Let's say mine is LinkedIn. And mind you guys, you can choose any product. Sometimes people recommend that you choose a product which is not that widely known. That just shows that, you know, you check out products which are less popular. To be honest, I don't really feel you have to pick up a product which is less known. In fact, if the product is well known, the interviewer would be able to understand what you're saying and will be able to assess what you're saying more well, basically. And as an interviewer, I would feel more comfortable if you talk to me about a product that I do understand than the one that I don't understand, because then I'm not sure what you're saying is correct or not. So I believe in a different thing, but to each his own. And whatever feels comfortable to you, if you want to talk about something that hardly anyone uses but only you use, go ahead, but you should be able to communicate it properly to the interviewer. All right, so let's say my favorite product is LinkedIn. Now let's get started. The question that the interviewer has asked me, what's your favorite product and why? Now when I say LinkedIn, I would then say that LinkedIn's core proposition or core impact that the business is trying to achieve is through becoming a place where job seekers and the employers, they can meet each other. Apart from this, it's also a place where people can learn from a professional standpoint, and advertisers can advertise as well. So LinkedIn is probably a marketplace where job seekers and employers can meet. It is also a place where job seekers can learn. It is also a place where advertisers can advertise. As a business, LinkedIn makes money when advertisers advertise, but as a value proposition, as a product, it only makes business when there's engagement on the platform. That is, when the job seekers find jobs, when the employers find job seekers, and when there's enough content for the job seekers to learn, right? So then engagement and ads are the 2 things that are good for LinkedIn, important for LinkedIn. Now, having said this, I have also given a view of the segments of customer as well, right? So coming to the STP part of it, I think there are 4 types of customers. Obviously the job seekers, the employers, the advertisers, and the 4th, the content creators. Now the job seeker can be a content creator as well, but let's put them into different personas, because it's the same person, same Aarushi, can be seeking job on LinkedIn or could be posting on LinkedIn as well. So her expectation from the platform will be different depending on what use case she's trying to solve over there. So let's put them into different personas: job seeker persona, employer persona, advertiser persona, and content creator persona. Now each of these segments are the ones that you want to engage on. Given that a target metric is engagement, obviously ads would come if you have good engagement. So let's just focus on engagement as of now. Now at this point, it is good to ask the interviewer, do you think apart from engagement, I should think a little bit about monetization as well? But I think engagement is more important for X, Y, and Z reason. Let them critique you, let them push you in the right direction in which they want you to go. But in my experience, I think they'll let you go in the direction that you choose, specifically if you have chosen the product yourself. However, if they have given you the product, then maybe they will also push you in the direction that they want you to go. So coming back, I have said that there are 4 key segments. Now, which one do I target to increase engagement? Now, engagement is basically driven by those who are consuming the content. Who is consuming the content over here? The employers, the job seekers, and the ones who are consuming the content of the content creators. While these 2 guys are consuming the content, their engagement is what we are driving. We also need to give the information about the engagement to the creators. So it's like whatever information we get from the job seekers, we pass it along to the employers and to the content creators. So it's like we empathize with the job seekers, and we pass along that information not just to ourselves as LinkedIn, but we also pass it along to the other segments that we have. So in a nutshell, we are solving for the job seekers. For the job seekers, there are a bunch of problems that they have. The first one is that they want to know what is the right job for me. If they are, let's say, the product manager working in e-commerce and ads in Dubai, now they want to find jobs that are similar to their profile. Maybe they want to shift geographies, maybe they want to stay in the same e-commerce but maybe a different company, or they want to switch roles completely. It could be any use case, right? So how does a job seeker identify the right job opportunities available for them? That's problem statement number 1. Problem statement number 2. If a job seeker wants to grow their understanding of a particular domain, how do they find the right content for it? How do they find the content that works for them? And how do you make sure that as a platform you understand that this is the guy that they really like? This is the content that they're engaging with. That's part number 2. And the part number 3, not just finding jobs, but within again the job section, how do I make sure that I can apply for the job, I can get my entire journey done properly, and I can also advance myself or learn where am I lacking in my job application journey so that I can continue enhancing myself. So how do you support my job seeking journey apart from just showing the jobs to me? So let's say these are the 3 problems that we identified for our target segment. Now how does LinkedIn solve them, and how can LinkedIn further enhance upon them is the thing for you. Which is where we are coming to our positioning angle. So let's say that from the 3 priorities, 3 things that we think we should absolutely nail, which is finding the right jobs, making yourself more suitable for the jobs that you have, and finally finding the right kind of creators. I think LinkedIn has done a significant enough solve for the first 2 things, which is finding the right job and honing yourself for that profile. But LinkedIn has not done enough in helping you find the right creator for the kind of topic that you're seeking. That social media angle of it is not that well done. While the Instagram recommendation algorithm is quite nice, the LinkedIn algorithm is not that great. So maybe that's where we can work at. Now we've identified one core pain point for the target group, and we know that LinkedIn is not doing well there. This is where we progress from. Now that we have identified that the LinkedIn recommendation algorithm is not that great, how do we fix it? Now, obviously, you may not be someone who understands recommendation algorithms really deeply, but let's first principle it. What would it be? It would be, if I'm recommending something to you, one thing that I need to know is who are you? What are the kind of things that you like? Now, how do I figure that out about you? I can figure that out about you through 2 means. Let's say I want to recommend a movie to a friend. How would I know if that friend would like that movie? By 2 things. 1, I know their personality. I know that they are my friends, so they would generally like things like the same things that I like, so probably then. Number 2, I know the kind of things that they have liked before. So if I know somebody is an Angelina Jolie fan, then I know that I can recommend any Angelina Jolie movie to them and they'll watch it. So it's about knowing what is the kind of content that they've liked before, and also what are the kind of people that they're like, so that if I know that you are a lot like me, then whatever I like, you will like. So it's like to like between people and like to like between content. That's a basic recommendation algorithm that anyone can think of, right? So maybe we need to be better, or LinkedIn needs to be better at making those like to like comparisons. Is LinkedIn able to identify the right data about me, about what is the kind of content that I like? How will it figure that out? If it has enough signals, if it has like, share, subscribe, all of those things going on LinkedIn. But does LinkedIn have that? LinkedIn has a like thing, LinkedIn has a view tracking as well, but LinkedIn does not push you to share things as much. If I like something, usually a post goes on my wall when people say like Aarushi has liked this post. Maybe that is pushing Aarushi away from liking things because she doesn't want to share to everyone, tell everyone that hey, I've liked this. It's just like she just wants to do it in the side. For example, on Instagram, if I like your photo, it doesn't show up on everyone's wall that Aarushi has liked it, and that's something I like about Instagram. I don't want to tell everyone that I've liked something. So maybe by that, LinkedIn is alienating a few people from liking content, and hence it is not getting enough information about those people. That could be a hypothesis that you run with, but how do you validate it? So maybe you could say, let's measure the percentage of people who like a content. What is the like to view ratio? And what is that usually for Instagram? Or what is that usually for other platforms? Let's say the interviewer says it's lower, then you know you've got a place. You could do something over here, right? And by just that much, we've come to a solution that probably we could stop putting it as a wall post when someone likes something. And that's point number one. Maybe let's say another thing that we want to do for better content mapping or matching is that a lot of content creators use posts, and maybe now they started using images as well, but it's really not that engaging. And if people don't engage with the content, they wouldn't like it, and then again that like engagement thing follows. So maybe we tell to these guys that apart from your usual posts and your usual images, maybe videos is one place which is going really big across the world. Why is LinkedIn not going into it? That could be another moonshot idea that LinkedIn could think about, where influencers could just post their content, like this content, on LinkedIn as well. So that's point number two. Now that we have come up with two features, comes the product part of it, which is which will you prioritize and how will you measure it and what are the risks. So between the two that I have said, not sharing your like information as a wall post and then the videos, I mean, obviously not sharing wall information on the post, that's very easy to build. It's really doesn't seem like a very big thing. So in terms of effort, it's low. In terms of impact, well, it's medium. We don't know how much people will like it. Maybe some people will do like that LinkedIn shows on the feed that they have liked this post. So that's a medium impact. However, video, while the effort is high, the impact is also high. So now it's on you. You ask the interviewer, by what time do we want to reach certain outcomes? Do we have some time constraints over here, or are we good? Like, do we have time? If they say you have constraints, then maybe you go with the low effort one, because at least you'll get to some distance. If they say you have time, then go with the high impact one, because that's the one that will get you going. So you pick out the right thing based on your constraints. Once you have it, then you say, what will you measure? Well, what will you measure? Weren't we going for engagement? Then, well, you will measure engagement. And how do we measure engagement for videos? The percentage view duration. What if the video was 10 minutes? What is the average duration that somebody views the video? What is the number of different types of content that someone views? What is the engagement rate of them overall on the platform, which is the average minutes that they have spent on the platform, and so on, which is the same kind of metrics that Instagram would also measure, right? So you've got those metrics in place, and what are your risks now? What if the creators don't want to create videos? Well, your idea is completely lost then. What if creators create videos, but your app is not able to handle the volume? What happens then? What if the videos are there, the creators want to create it, but your consumers, you felt that people like videos, but they don't want to consume videos on LinkedIn? What happens then? So you call out all of these risks. You say, how will you measure them? Maybe you say some of these things you'll A/B test it, or some of these things you'll probably do user testing and ask users and so on. But you figure it out and you give your answer to the interviewer. With this, we have covered the entire format of your favorite product, or how would you improve a product kind of a question. This is your product thinking round, and well, that's all it takes. So with this, we are done with this round. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and mention on the comment section below on what is it that you want me to do my videos on. I am listening, guys, and I'll be very, very happy to make videos on the content that you want me to make on. With this, ta-da!